Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today I'm going to be playing Civil War Generals 2 once again. This is the second part of a live stream that I did on August 14th in the wee hours of the morning. The stream covered the Battle of Blackburn Ford and then also the Battle of Bull Run. Episode 1, the Battle of Blackburn Ford, is up on my YouTube channel already. If you haven't checked it out, then go ahead and check it out. It was the last video I uploaded before this one. The second part of that live stream is this video. That's going to be the Battle of Bull Run. Now, in this case, we're playing an alternate version of Bull Run. I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Remember, this is a live stream that I did, so the audio here is going to be a little bit different than some of my videos where I'm talking just kind of casually to you, the listener. At the time I was talking to the various audience members watching. With that being said, I'm going to break this video up into two parts, so without spoiling anything, the Battle of Bull Run in this scenario is actually a 2-day fight, and I'm going to split this video into two parts. In the first part, it's just going to be kind of the live stream continuing. The second part, I'm going to override the audio, and I'm going to provide some history about the Battle of Bull Run. So that one will be more sort of traditional historical gamer, not talking about myself in the third person, but that'll be more traditional, what I normally do, and this one will just be jumping back into the live stream. So anyway, guys, I hope you sit back and enjoy, and we'll see you at the end. If you want the more grog version of Sid Meier's Gettysburg, take a look at the Scourge of War games. If you want the kind of a little bit more arcadey, but it follows the kind of branching campaign with, I think, carryover casualties and then the dynamic nature of if you win here, you fight there. If you win there, you fight here. That is definitely modeled in Ultimate General. So either Ultimate General or Scourge of War Gettysburg, either one of those are great games for anyone who's interested in a Sid Meier's follow-on. But I'm going to try and... I actually have Sid Meier's Gettysburg downstairs in my basement. I'm going to try and maybe stream that tomorrow, or I may keep streaming Civil War Generals 2. I'm not sure which. The only thing that bothers me with Ultimate General is the way troops move across the field. It's like they're just a mob of guys kind of running. Okay, guys, so I am back. So we can see here the Battle of Bull Run, 1st Manassas. Now, because we won Blackburn Ford so decisively, Bull Run will be a alternate. So the game doesn't go into total fictional scenarios, I think with the exception of the Washington scenario, which is kind of a shame. But it does change the battles that you do fight based on how the previous battles go. So because we won Blackburn Ford decisively when it was really a Confederate victory, the Battle of Bull Run will be different. You can see here it'll describe what's different. The rebels are driven to the top of Henry Hill, where they await a Union assault on two fronts. The Union should try to attack Henry Hill on two flanks, trying to force the rebels to leave their defensive positions on top of the hill. The rebels should engage the approaching Union forces with their long-range artillery. The Union forces crossing open fields should be easy pickings for the king of battle, the artillery. I think Napoleon called the artillery the king of battle. The rebels should continue to wait for the Union forces to begin their uphill attack until they are within range of 2, possibly 3 rebel units. And then beyond that, that's kind of telling you how Alternate 5 is different than the stock Bull Run. But then as you scroll down here, it'll give you a summary of the actual historical battle that we're about to fight. So President Lincoln ordered Irvin McDowell to drive away the Confederate forces camped at Manassas Junction, just 25 miles from Washington. The Union troops moved slowly, giving Jefferson Davis time to move 11,000 reinforcements, including General Stonewall Jackson, history's first large troop movement by rail out of the Shenandoah Valley to the Battle of Manassas. Or Bull Run, depending on if you're from the north or the south. Everyone expected a major battle, possibly one that would decide the fate of the war. Civilians with picnic baskets turned out for the spectacle. The battle was a free-for-all, all among both sides. Green troops. Okay. Ultimately, the rebels won a major victory, and only Lincoln's resolve kept a horrified North from capitulating after this rout. I don't know if that bit is totally accurate, but it does give it a little bit of flavor to the game. So this is 108 turns, folks. The last battle was 21. This is 108. I believe this is a multi-day battle, to be honest. So I think this is, instead of the historical Bull Run, which took place over the course of one day, I think this will end up being a 2-day fight because of the way the first battle unfolded. So you can see here, we're across the Bull Run. That victory at Blackburn Ford allowed us to cross Mitchell's Ford, allowed us to cross the Bull Run with a substantial number of troops, and we're marching west. So if we move west here, where is Henry Hill? Sudley, Mount Payne, New Market. Henry Hill's here somewhere. I wonder if I can zoom out. Menu. Display. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, so we can do here. Ballsford, New Market. Here's Henry House Hill. So this is where General Jackson made his stand. And historically, the Union kind of came this way over the left flank here and attacked Henry House Hill, while the Bull Run itself was a defensive position that General Longstreet's Longstreet's brigade and other forces were stationed along the ford here, and the main fighting took place on the Confederate left. In this case, we've crossed that ford. We're across the Bull Run, at least in one place, and our goal here is going to be to roll up the Confederates all the way to Henry House Hill and drive them back. Now, this is going to be difficult in a two-pronged attack because, frankly, we're kind of spread out here. We've got a force down here. It looks like about a division that's probably isolated. We've got a division up here that's isolated. And we've got these other troops coming down from the north that are also isolated. So this is going to be a difficult battle to kind of keep everything all going and piece things together. But we've got 100-plus turns, so I guess that's a positive. Mobs of civilians running around and getting in your way. That would be one way to do it, I suppose. So I think my first objective here is going to be to drive on these objective points. Neither side has these C's that are yellow, but they give you victory points when you take them. And then hopefully I can use these troops in the south to turn the Confederates out of their defensive positions around Island Ford and allow these two divisions to link up and then advance west on Henry House Hill. If I can do that, I can hopefully roll the Confederates up along the entire creek line or river line all the way toward Henry House Hill from the right. And if we can roll them up, we can catch them in a double envelopment when our main forces come down here from the south and attack Henry Hill kind of up front. So that's the overall strategy. We'll see how it plays out. And we're just going to kind of move south. What do we want to do? The stone bridge is here. So we're not really coming down on the Confederate flank if they've got troops here on Stone Bridge. Well, let's start here in the south. That'll be the easiest. So we've kind of got these sniper units, boons, sharpshooters. We'll advance them, and you can see they don't see anyone. So it seems safe. We use them as a scout to advance, and they see nothing. So that gives me confidence in moving my regular troops up, and there you go. So we move there. Now, if we go here, move them into combat formation. I'm assuming the rebels are here. I don't see any, though. That's interesting. I assume they would have been by Island Ford, given that they have those objectives with rebel flags, but maybe not. Anyway, so we're advancing. These guys may link up really easily then if there's no Confederate troops down here. I don't want to advance over Lewis Ford and then end up, cut off because we leave Stone Bridge unattended. So I think, yeah, you can see here as we advance, the enemy does have some troops dug in, pretty substantial troops dug in over here. So we're going to move our headquarters to this crossroad. We'll actually take it off the road here. And then we'll kind of move these guys into place. I think what I'll do is I'll just launch an overwhelming attack on Stone's Bridge. Hopefully don't lose too many men. And we'll see what happens there. We've got some cavalry as well. So Palmer's brigade of cavalry, they're using Hall breech rifles. But I think that just about does it. I think that's all of our units. Let's see here. There's an option to... So, yeah, we hit the S button. So everybody's moved. Okay. So I guess we'll go ahead and end our turn. And the enemy starts hitting us with artillery. And again, we're now fighting at the brigade level. So in the last fight, we were fighting at the regimental level. We're now fighting at the brigade level. You can see here 34 casualties instead of what probably would have been like 8 or 9. So casualties are going to be much heavier now. I'm going to see if I can... I don't see a ford anywhere. Actually, there's one up here. I'm going to see if I can move my cavalry up around the enemy flank. Probably should have done that with my infantry, too. And frankly, you know what? Let's do that. Psych! I'm going to move my infantry, hopefully, around the enemy flank without them noticing. Most of these guys didn't get to the crossroad yet. And it's a 2-day battle, so there's no real race in terms of time. I'm going to move these guys up along this river, or up along this road, and you see right here is a ford. You can see just by kind of the way it looks, we can cross the river there, I think. So if we can cross the river there, that should help us substantially. And you can see these guys, we'll zoom in here a bit. You can see these guys look a little bit weird. These are scouts, so they do fight, they do have musketoons, but they're not really in a formation to fight effectively, which means they're more or less just kind of keeping an eye on our guys. So we'll go ahead and charge them. It'll drive them back really easily, and the enemy lost many, almost double our manpower. Easily drove them back. We'll send our sharpshooters up here. Looks like the enemy actually has some pretty substantial forces, a large cavalry brigade under Radford, and some infantry as well. Alright. Okay, so we crossed Island Ford, and there you go. We found more Confederate positions. Probably going to bombard us next turn. It is what it is. And then we're going to start forming up. And then I think we'll go ahead and... I don't know what the enemy has to our front over here. I'm hoping it's not much. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll start moving our artillery this way toward the enemy. It does look like it's going to be more of a frontal assault. I had hoped I'd be able to roll up their flank, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Nonetheless, we're linking up with these other guys up here. So if we zoom back out, you can see the enemy has some strong positions along this ridge line or hill line that may be difficult to assail. This battle may not be quite as easy as I had hoped, folks. Okay, so enemy artillery continues to... No, we'll keep them in place. So enemy artillery, just like the game said, is bombarding our troops as we try and cross through these open fields. So these guns are on lower ground, which means they are vulnerable to enemy attack. So we're going to get them into ship shape. I don't know if these guys are on the bottom of a ridge. Yeah, they're not going to be able to see much from there. Crap. Okay. So again, we're kind of trying to move these guys into position where they can attack the enemy. And because our artillery is unmounting the same... They can't mount and unmount on the same turn. So you can see here our scouts are doing a decent job of detecting enemy troops. The enemy has at least 2 weaker regiments just to the south. I think these guys were actually engaged in the battle yesterday, or at least some of them may have been engaged. They certainly look weaker. We'll keep 1 regiment here kind of guarding our flank as we move the other guys forward with our old pals. So this is going to turn into more or less a frontal assault on this hill, which is not what I had hoped for. But it is what it is, I suppose. And then our cavalry will move over that ford and around the enemy flank. We'll get McDowell going. Well, I don't even know really what value a corps commander has, but that's what he is. McDowell is on the map as a corps commander. Or, yeah, I guess corps or army commander. Okay, so I think that's just about it. Everybody's moved who can move. And we'll go ahead and we'll end the turn. So enemy artillery continuing to bombard our position. And it looks like they attacked some of our sharpshooters with some infantry. Drove them back, although the attackers lost more than they gave. Still, they need to withdraw a bit. Okay, and they've also got fortifications. So these little, these are kind of, I don't even know what you call them, but they're abatis or something like that. They represent prepared fortifications by engineers, which make them even more difficult to attack. Oh joy. Fortunately for the Union, the artillery of theirs is generally substantially better. So we're going to kind of move forward, and actually, let's see here. We're going to get these guys up because the enemy left this abatis, or whatever it's called again, undefended. You can see here. So we were able to move into this defensive terrain and make it our own. Move our most powerful units forward. And these guys will kind of protect their flank. Okay, so down in the south we're engaged. Not as many units up here as you would think. Meanwhile, our cavalry is going to stay here. We don't want to give our position away too much. I think I'll make this Old Carter Mansion McDowell's headquarters. Again, I don't really know what influence that has. I think he, helps the morale of the troops. But that's about it. It's nothing substantial, in my opinion. Okay. And get moving. Alright, I think that's everyone. I don't think anyone is not moved, except for our cavalry, actually. We left the cavalry in place. But we'll let them rest and resupply, and then we'll go ahead and end the turn. Again, the Confederate artillery continues to bombard our position. And that was a pretty devastating attack, actually, by these Confederate attackers. Looks like our scouts routed. Okay, so in the south, Confederates routed our scouts. Let's see if we can charge and drive them back. No, we can at least attack them. There. Okay. So the rebels have pulled back a little bit, interestingly, out of their defensive positions in some cases. They're swinging over to our right. No, I don't want to use 8,000 morale. Okay, so the enemy did drive this infantry unit back, Tyler's brigade back. They're now at point-blank range for our artillery, so we're going to try and limit them or wear them down a little bit with artillery fire. And then their supporting brigade, Early's brigade, we're going to attack with the Iron Brigade. You can see here very heavy casualties now compared to what we were seeing in the previous fight. This is not going to be a bull run-like battle in any way in terms of casualties, I do not think. So our scouts are running for their lives. That's not cool. Running into the enemy lines, it looks like. And let's go down here. So it looks like we can continue moving these guys around the Confederate flank. This battle's kind of slow developing, guys. Sorry if it's a little bit boring, but we've got very spread out units. Yeah, we can't do anything about the scouts. They're routed, so. Enemy artillery. Man, these Confederates keep attacking us and doing quite a bit of damage on their attacks. I'm surprised. We've got good defensive ground, and they're inflicting heavy losses on us. Look at they just destroyed Blenkner's brigade. I mean, look at that. That's not going to be effective for quite a while. Ugh. Tyler's brigade is gone, more or less. Man. Let's see here. The Iron Brigade. Nope. They're not in good enough shape. They're all beat to hell. Damn.
At ease, man.
They would have attacked before, General. The defensive volley was so powerful it drove us back without doing any damage to the enemy. Oh my goodness, look at how low our morale is.
At ease, man.
So again, I think this is an example of Army morale playing a role in the battle. So we'll set you up here. So you can see if we zoom in a little bit, he's going to change formation into like a little headquarters thing. I don't know what that does at all. And you can see here the enemy, we're coming into contact with the enemy forces to our north. Would really be nice to have more men. Union Army and Confederate Army were almost at parity at the Battle of Bull Run in terms of manpower. These guys just need to just relax, okay? These guys, shoot them over here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and end the turn. Confederate artillery is really playing havoc on our morale. That's really seems to be the main thing. And a few powerful Confederate attacks. They attack the undefended artillery. Great. So again, the AI was smart to swing around to our rear, more or less, and attack this more or less undefended artillery. But our artillery just reduced them to a ineffective hulk. Man, the Iron Brigade is not doing well morale-wise. Okay. I should have bombarded them with artillery first. Okay. Alright, so cavalry takes that objective. Actually, I don't know if they can. Well, maybe they can, maybe they can't. I'm not sure. We're going to start forming our infantry up here. Now, they're a little bit tired from this march they've been on. They've been moving. I'm trying to remember what change formation is, by the way. Nope. God damn you and your line of sight. So these guys have been marching for a bit, so they're tired. Another thing to keep in mind is as you march, you lose unit morale and unit cohesion over time as you march.
At ease, man.
Just trying to kind of get a gauge on.
At ease, man. At ease, man.
Okay, so our army is not in great shape. We could use the night to get some added morale. The enemy is doing pretty well here. Man, I didn't expect this battle to turn so ugly so fast. Man, these guys' morale is just plummeting. Our army morale must be way too low or something. Everyone is like, I want to go home. I don't like war. Tough shit, guys. No one, everyone's beat to hell. They won't attack. They wouldn't attack a chicken coop. Well, that's real great. Glad to know our artillery is the only thing worth anything. At least our artillery can get some guys to run away. Oh. The attacking general fell to a lucky shot. Palmer! Palmer down! Oh my goodness. Don't do cavalry charges. Ever. That was bad. Bad! Alright, end of turn. This battle is getting ugly fast. 114 casualties, for flip's sake. And the cavalry's dead. And our scouts are dead. Everyone's dead and dying! This is a debacle! Trees, yes, I do read the chat from time to time. Sorry, I haven't been doing a good job of keeping up on it. I've been too busy getting my ass kicked by the computer rebels. Maybe we can get these guys to surrender. Maybe. If we bombard them hard enough. I don't even know if we have any infantry who can attack them anyway. Okay. I don't even know if our troops are in good enough shape to move. They're not. Fuck. I was trying to surround these guys. At ease, man. Ah. No one will attack anything because they all are cowards. Jesus Christ. I tell you to attack. I expect you to attack. Cowards. Cowards! And my cavalry are running wild. Have fun, guys. Gameplay's fine. Soundtrack, video, audio. This is a good game. Certainly a blast from the past, though. And our cavalry are running wild. This is rapidly turning into the real Bull Run, but a little bit more bloody. So it's like, what, 13:30? Midday? So we had almost surrounded that one rebel unit, and they pulled back just in time.
At ease, man.
Hey, we routed the enemy. Hurrah!
At ease, man. At ease, man. At ease, man.
Just trying to get these guys to rest and, you know, get back into shape where they can fight. Okay. I wonder if these guys will charge. Nope. They will attack and lose heavily. Nope. At least we drove those rebels. We drove them rebels back. Come on. There you go, boys. Reform. Alright, gotta try and get these guys back in ship shape. The army is in... Whoops. They're in rough shape. Rough shape. Maybe we can attack and drive these guys back next turn. Whoops. We can rename units too, by the way. Indeed, Germany didn't exist yet. It was the Confederation of Germany, but just a few years after the end of the Civil War, Germany did come into existence. My guys are all fucking mutineers. This guy wouldn't attack a chicken coop. Well, maybe you should be shot for treason. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. By the way, also, the more times you attack a hex, the more times you attack a hex, the more valuable it becomes in terms of victory points. In case, for those who were wondering. Down with Stuart. Alright, let's mount you guys up and get you up to that hill we just took. Meanwhile, these guys we just reformed, but we need to rest them and give them some bullets because they have no ammo. And... yeah. Okay, let's try and reform our cavalry. Nope. Alright, that's the end of that turn. Okay... I want to get these guns up on this hill. Still can't... damn. They can't shoot. I'm going to have to let these guys rest. The problem is, by letting our guys rest, it also lets the rebels rest. But I'm guessing, based on the way this battle's gone so far, our guys need the rest more than theirs do. Still no reform there. Okay. Attacking their scouts. Don't know if that really does any good.
At ease, man.
Okay, so we retook this objective here after all those attacks. Can we charge early? No. We can't attack him, but again, we're attacking. Defensive volley was too much, and we withdrew without doing anything, because we're fucking cowards. Anyone left? Anyone left who can do anything? I don't even think we get any reinforcements in this battle. That sucks. McDowell, your force sucks. You call this a double envelopment? Tree, I have heard of the game War of Rights. It's more of a first-person shooter Civil War game. It'll be. I think they're kind of trying to model. Oh, what was that game? Mountain Blade. Kind of feels like they're trying to model the way people kind of created their own little communities there. But you know, I guess it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I will admit I'm somewhat skeptical, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope it works out and ends up being great.
At ease, man. 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 At ease, man.
Just trying to give my guys a break. If I can get the morale back up, then I can keep pushing. And that's kind of the nice thing at this point. The fact that this is a 2-day battle, at least 108 days might be a 3-day battle. I guess we'll see. But the fact that it's a multi-day battle is good for us.
At ease, man. At ease, man.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yay, our cavalry reformed. Hurrah! Alright, let's see. Who hasn't done anything yet? Okay, that's everyone. What do you mean by I am the Union? So? You trying to say the Union don't know how to fight? I'll challenge you on that if that's what you're trying to say. A fou d'enfant, as Napoleon would call it. Oh, come on.
At ease,
What do you mean you wouldn't attack a chicken coop? Your morale is good.
At ease, man. At ease, man. At ease, man.
Defensive volley was too much. For fuck's sake. God damn you! I think we need to go the Soviet approach and, you know, have set up some guys behind our front line and shoot anyone who won't attack. There stands Jackson, standing like a stone wall.
No, sir.
We're going to attack Jackson and try and overwhelm him and drive him back, but we'll see how that goes. I'm sure they'll attack our scouts and drive him back, and they did. Meanwhile, artillery is artillery. Okay, so in the south, we're really trying to focus on Early's brigade. We're really turning Early into a hero. He's been the stone wall in this battle so far. Keeping so far. Let's hope we can... What do we stone him? We have no cartridges. Let's shut up and get more. Oh, come on. It'd be real great if all their morale wasn't terrible. Okay, so moving north. Let's see, was that Jackson who attacked? It was. He drove us back across that bridge. Everyone is so exhausted they couldn't attack a chicken coop. Man, Jackson is doing some damage to us. There's his stone wall moment, by the way. We just attacked him like 4 different times, and pretty much every single time, he inflicted more casualties on us than we inflicted on him. Okay. Alright. It's only desertion if you get caught. Alright, so it looks like they pulled Jackson back after those unremitting attacks. So hopefully we can at least ruin his reputation. Hey, we pushed him back. Or no, we didn't. It looks like we routed him, and yet somehow we still fell back? That makes no sense. We routed Jackson. Fuck yeah. Alright. It's bad. It's a bad sign that I have to take solace in routing one enemy brigade and losing like twice my number to do it. Meanwhile, early in the south, he's kind of like Claiborne. Claiborne is the Stonewall of the West, while Early's kind of like the Stonewall of the South at this battle. Alright, so we did push him back with continued artillery fire. Eventually, he retreated.
At ease, man. At ease, man. At ease, man. At ease, man.
Don't necessarily care about supply. So we're getting kind of... Well, it's 4:30, so we're getting into the afternoon of the first day. Alright, so we've got engineers back here. Early's brigades pulled back. Some. Jackson's nowhere to be sighted. Now it's Bartow. I thought it was Barlow. Either way, wasn't he the guy who got pushed back and then Jackson, or he's the guy who made the Stonewall comment about Jackson? There's Jackson. Good old Jackson. No ammo. We're going to launch a series of very strong attacks next turn, if our men can manage it. Okay. defensive volley was too much. Well, we need to get some chicken coops so our men will attack then. If they're so scared, they won't do anything. Doesn't matter, they don't need supply. Alright. This is really just turning into more of an artillery duel with the occasional infantry attack. Man, the casualties on this battle are definitely flipped. Hey, Jackson has no ammo. Oh, but you wouldn't attack a chicken coop because you're so beat up. I'm getting frustrated. Frustrated. Take that, Jackson. Take my frustration out on you. So this infantry unit of ours retreated the wrong direction and now is fucked. Retreat wherever you can. Everyone is so beat up, they wouldn't attack a chicken coop. But we did catch one enemy unit in column formation. Okay, I don't have enough troops. I need a bigger battle, frankly. The regimental scale might be better suited to Bull Run. Wasn't Patrick Claiborne the one who wrote the whole thing about, you know, we should free slaves or whatever, and then got basically ostracized in the South? And then they did exactly that later in the war. Damn it, I can't get around them. I was trying to surround that rebel unit, but I don't have enough men to do it. So we'll just take our anger out on them and hit them with artillery. They are in the open. Maybe we'll make them so beat up they won't be able to attack. There, we got our routed regiment. Erasmus Keys, you fucking coward. Jackson, can we hit him? It's 6 o'clock, so it's gonna be dark somewhat soon. It's not an outright rout yet, but this is feeling like very much the real Battle of Bull Run. Just potentially bloodier. I haven't looked at the casualties yet.
At ease, man. At ease, man. At ease, man. At ease, man.
Those guys are snoring at like 6:30 in the afternoon. Good for you, boys. Trying to surround this unit would help our victory chances. Not chances, but it would help our victory points a lot. Hey, look, it's Longstreet, guys. So that answers our question. He did not. What do you mean they wouldn't attack a chicken coop? They won't attack a... whatever. So Longstreet's back. So obviously when you get captured as a general, you end up coming back. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so we almost have them surrounded. It's getting later in the day. You can hear the sound changes a little bit. And we can hit these guys, and they all deserted. So we didn't capture them, per se, but they did desert. We got quite a bit of morale and supply for that. So, enemy unit destroyed. Hurrah. There we go. Okay, so we have had a little bit of success. This is very much a draw, I would say, so far. The fighting and casualties have certainly been favoring the enemy, but the results, we haven't really been driven from the field yet. We do have, I think, two regiments that are, routed more or less. A lot of units that are not in good enough shape to attack, but they're still around. A lot of guys resting and reforming. And we're almost to the end of the day, so we're 22 turns in. It's now nighttime. You can see the graphics have changed. Everybody's in camp. I think, no, you can't attack at night. Sir, I can scarce see my hand, let alone the enemy. No army can fight by night. If you must move us, then so be it. I say, let them, as can, sleep. Alright, so we're just going to kind of let our guys... Actually, we don't even need to do that. We're just going to end the turn, give everyone oversupply, and let them sleep. The night turns are longer than a half an hour. You can see here as we go that each turn is like 3 hours. But at least you are able to regain a lot of your morale and organization at night. The risk is if you're in a bad position, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to figure out like how to recompose yourself. A lot of these guys are in just such rough shape, frankly, that moving them around would probably be more harm than good. So again, just kind of letting them rest. You can see, there you go. So the night is over, and it is now July 20th at 6 in the morning, the second day of the Battle of Bull Run. So the first day is over. We haven't been routed from the field. Let's take a look here. If we go to the casualties screen, we can see the Union suffered 1,600 dead, 32 wounded. Confederate 1,100 dead, 2,200 wounded. So already there, that is basically the historical Battle of Bull Run. I think a little bit heavier. The Confederates also have 4,300 men deserted. The supply captured favors us, thanks largely to that captured enemy brigade. The weapons cost captured heavily favors the Confederates. That means they'll be more able to upgrade their weapons. Victory-controlled hexes, we actually have the edge there. Victory points, things are pretty even. So as of right now, 25 turns in, we're at about a draw. And actually, based on 25 turns a day, it looks like this is a 4-day battle. So this could go all the way to July 22nd. This is very much, could be a grinded-out fight. But given that that's the end of the first day, I need to refill my glass, and I'm going to take a quick 30-second break. I'll check in on the chat room as well when I get back before I jump back into the game. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Save it as THG save. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick 30-second break, guys, and I'm going to check in on the chat room as well. I will be right back. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in to the second part of my Grand Campaign series, playing Civil War Generals 2. This was the second part of my 3-part of the live stream from August 14th, the first part of the Battle of Bull Run. We will complete the Battle of Bull Run, detailing the second day of the battle without providing any spoilers, but we will complete the battle in the next video in the series. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if this is something you're enjoying. In the second part, however, I am going to override the audio from the actual video, and I'm going to provide my own audio regarding the historical Battle of Bull Run. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.